Hey boys and girls, it's Miss Gainey here to teach you a little bit more about arrays. I know we've had a couple lessons already, but today we're going to learn something new that we can do with arrays. So first we're going to do a little bit of review about arrays, and then we're going to learn how we take a multiplication equation, and then we can create an array from that equation. All right, so just a little bit of a review. An array is a set that shows equal groups in rows and columns. And remember, our rows go side to side or vertically, and our columns go up and down horizontally. All right, so underneath I've drawn an array that has 2 rows, 1, 2, and 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our multiplication equation is 2 times 4 equals 8. And we always have to remember, I have my little tip up here, when you are writing a multiplication equation, or you're making an array from a multiplication equation, your rows are always going to come first. So you see I've got my 2 here, and then I have my 2 here. And then my columns come next. So our repeated addition for this array is going to be 4 plus 4 equals 8. All right, so before we begin, I want to make sure everybody has a sheet of paper and a pencil. So if you don't have that, go ahead and go grab a sheet of paper and a pencil and pause the video. All right, boys and girls, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to practice together. And before we start practicing, I want us to take another look at this tip. It says, don't forget, rows always come first when you are looking at the multiplication equation. So when we look at this equation, we are going to remember rows come first. So the first number in the equation is the rows. So let's take a look together. Number 1 is 3 times 5 equals blank. Well, we don't know what it equals yet because we're going to draw our array to help us solve the equation. So we know that the rows come first, so I'm going to draw my rows first. Grab my board here. So I am going to draw 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when you are drawing your arrays, you need to make sure that you take your time and you line it up. Okay, so I've got my 3 rows going down. Now I know I've got to draw my 5 columns. So I already have 1 drawn. So you want to start by counting that 1 column. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to double check now my columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to remember to be super careful and count the row that you already drew because it is also a column. All right, so now we can fill out the rest of our array. 1, 2, 1, 2. You want to make it as nice and neat as possible so you don't get confused, so your lines don't intertwine with one another. Okay, so now let's double check here. We've got 1, 2, 3 rows for my first number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns for my second number. Now, I know that I can count these rows by 5s because that's how many is in each group. So here we go, 5, 10, 15. So our answer to 3 times 5 is going to be 15. All right, 3 times 5 is going to be 15. All right. Okay, so 3 times 5 is 15. We also could just count them up by 1s if we didn't want to count by 5s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, good job, guys. Now, let's get that paper and pencil ready because I'm going to have you guys go ahead and do this one on your own first, and then we'll check it together. So the equation that I have here, my multiplication equation, is 4 times 6. Again, it's 4 times 6. Remember our tip, rows always come first. So think about what you're going to draw first when you start your array. You want to start with those rows. Go ahead, pause the video, and draw an array for 4 times 6. All right, boys and girls, let's check your work. Get my board ready here. Remember, like we already talked about, we want to start with our rows. So our first number is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our 4 rows. Let's double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the second number is going to be our columns. Remember, this one counts as one column. So you're going to start with 1, and you're going to draw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now we're ready to fill in the rest. So I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to try to make them as nice and neat as possible. All right, so now to get our answer, we've got our array drawn. Let's count all the dots together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So my answer to 4 times 6 is going to be, or is, 24. Good job, guys. All right, now moving on to my next equation, multiplication equation here, number 3. Go ahead and pause the video in one moment and do number 3, 7 times 2. So remember, the rows come first in 7 times 2. Go ahead, pause the video and draw your array for 7 times 2. All right, good job, boys and girls. Let's take a look. We know that our rows always come first, so we're going to draw 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost ran out of space there. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we are going to draw our columns. And remember, we already have one column started here, so we only need to draw one more. 2. So 1, 2. Let's go ahead and fill out the rest of the array. All right, excellent. So we have our array drawn here. Now we can count up all the dots to get our total, or our answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So our answer to 7 times 2 is 14. Good job, boys and girls. Now we have one more array to draw. Our multiplication equation for number 4 is 5 times 5. So remember, rows come first. Go ahead, pause the video, and draw your array for 5 times 5. All right, here we go. So now we have the same numbers. So we have to draw 5 rows and 5 columns, but rows always come first. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got our 5 rows. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now we've got to draw our 5 columns. We already have 1, so we're going to count 1 and draw 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's go ahead and fill in the rest. Try to make them as nice and neat as you can and in line so you don't confuse yourself. Okay, so now we've drawn our rows and our columns. We have 5 rows and 5 columns. So let's count the dots, or we could count by 5s since we have a 5 in our equation. We could do it either with the rows or the columns because there's 5 groups in each row, 5 groups in each column. So let's go ahead. We're going to count by fives with the rows. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So our answer to 5 times 5 is 25. And again, if you wanted to count the dots one by one, you could do that as well. So you could look here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that is going to be our answer to the equation. Good job today, guys. Learning multiplication facts. You have your assignment listed in the plans. It's a worksheet. It's an attachment. If you have any questions, feel free to email your teacher. Awesome job today, guys.